All right, the Chargers steal a playmaker in the second round, and
Mhm.
we really like this guy. If you're new to the channel, we're Detroit Lions fans, but this channel fully dedicated to the Chargers, and we started it because of Jim Harbaugh, and now
Yeah.
we're following them through
Go
here
blue.
another offseason, and they get a really good player. And let me pull him up here real quick. It's Trey Harris. Get him at pick 55, and I'm really kind of surprised. I thought that Jim Harbaugh would go back to the lines and even in the early rounds, but I think they've got 10 picks overall. I think they're going to save that, which is awesome. And they are
Yeah.
actually doing what they should be doing, and that's getting playmakers for Justin Herbert, who really just hasn't had that. He's got some aging guys that were pretty good. Mike Williams there for a second, and then Keenan Allen. But it's like, no, what we need is playmakers, and they get Trey Harris. So, Craig, what was your initial reaction when you saw that they got Trey Harris from Ole Miss?
Yeah, I like Trey Harris. I think Trey Harris he's a good playmaker. But the metrics love him a lot. And there's certain areas in his game that he really separates himself from other wide receivers. It's not blazing speed. He has good enough speed, right? It's not remarkable physical attributes, even though he does have good physical attributes. I mean, he measured at just over 6'2", 205. That's fantastic.
Mhm.
He has really good explosion, all that kind of stuff. But he separates himself in those finer metrics that most people are like, what does this mean? And so I have a couple of things for you, but that was my first overall thought is he's a guy who separates in weird metrics, and he has been an extremely productive receiver every single year at Ole Miss. Every single year. And just to kind of show you how productive he's been, let's go ahead here and let's zoom in here and let's look at his stats. Right? Over the last 3 years, this is a guy who has put together almost a 1,000-yard season every single year.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing it at an extremely effective rate. Look at this yards per catch, 17.2, 18.3, 14.5. This one over here is 2022. So the more recent years are up here. He's just been extremely effective. And you can always use guys that are effective and catch the ball. That's all. That's
Yes.
all I'm saying. I got more for you, but I'll let you run for a second.
Are you thinking you're saying this, but efficient is like the key, because when you look at wide receiver, I think a lot of times we're still in the older mindset. It's kind of like 90s basketball. It's like you got to be big and you got to be down the paint, and it's like, no, we got to separate. That's kind of the money ball thing now. It's like, can you get to first base? It's like, no, can you separate? That's what guys that we're really looking for. So, and we've learned from having Amon-Ra St. Brown, that's not speed. It's not physical. It's just this craftiness. And so he might have some of that. And if he does, and you pair him with Ladd McConkey, now all of a sudden, and you've got this power run game because you got the Eagles, guard, you've drafted well. You've all of a sudden, you've got wide receivers that can get open in Jim Harbaugh's offense. You've got two power backs. This offense is like overnight looking really, really good. And I'm wondering if this guy is going to be like that. And that would be really special. And take this offense overnight to a different offense.
Yeah, it's a little bit of that, and it is a little bit of he just has the size and speed component too.
Sure.
Like he's good across the board, but what it ends up creating is this guy that ends up just having kind of these freakish numbers, if I can be honest, on yards per route run and grade versus man coverage. And this is a great graphic that you're pulling up right here. There's one name. You see that one name? Oh, I got to point this way. That one name way up in the corner. That's Trey Harris. That's yards per route run versus man and zone coverage. He's unbelievable. Like
outlier. Yeah.
It is the efficiency. And when I look at the stats, this year, they only threw him the ball 76 times because he only played in 8 games. He only played in 8 games. And he had over 1,000 yards, 76 balls thrown to him. He caught 60. Is that a good percentage?
Man,
that's
nuts.
Awesome.
So
throw a guy the ball 10 times a game in 8 games and have that many catches and still average 17 yards a catch, that's out of control in what is the most athletic, apparently, conference in the country, in the SEC. That's not bad, man.
So this graphic's saying that when he runs routes, he's just running deep routes. It,
Kind of like, actually, if you look at his route tree this past year, it actually kind of shares a different story. The go route, he had 5 targets with 1 catch for 70 yards, right? But he got a ton of his yards on a hitch route. So he sets him up for the deep route and then cuts it back in, or curls it back in for the hitch. He also had a great success on post routes. So, like, he's a guy who had success on every type of route that he had to run. But yeah, a lot of his yards actually did not come on the go ball, which I thought was really, really interesting. And
okay. And
yeah,
he
very interesting. Part
actually,
of that is because Jackson Dart, who was drafted 25th overall, throws a horrible deep ball. I want to make that clear. That's part of it. It
yes.
doesn't mean that he wasn't open. Jackson Dart throws a horrible deep ball.
And I was just looking at this, and I don't want to pull it up just at risk. It's kind of more of a game film, but he
Oh
has
yeah,
one of
don't
the
do that.
greatest catches. Look it up after this video. Don't leave right now, but look up afterwards of in the history of mankind, and it's just like, you know, it's just a one-handed over the shoulder because Dart throws it like out of bounds, and he's like, "I'll get it."
I'll go ahead and
And
get that.
yeah, so anyway, I think this is really interesting, and I'm glad to see. And I think, we've been talking about this. The Chargers suddenly are just a mature, well-run franchise, and it's funny because you and I were just talking about this with like the Philadelphia Eagles. They look like what they do is they draft really the best SEC player available, and it's like, you know what? They just do things that make sense. The
Yeah.
Ravens do that. That's where your
Mhm.
GM comes from. This is what just well run. It's like, you know what? We needed weapons. So why don't we get a running back and a wide receiver? And it's like, okay, that's a pretty good idea. Let's just do that. And
Because
I
it's
think,
not like the offensive line is poor. It's a good offensive line already. You have what will be the best probably tackle combo in the NFL, or second best. You know who else I'm talking
mhm,
about,
mhm,
Chris.
mhm.
But like, you have a good offensive line already. What Herbert desperately needed was more weapons, and you just went and got it for him. You were going to have a phenomenal run game. Now you have this guy who's going to be more reliable than what you currently have. I'm being honest. He's going to be more reliable than that, and Lad McConkey can still be a slot ninja.
Yep.
Like, go for it.
Oh, I love it.
Go for it.
And okay. So hey, last thing as the Lions are about to pick. So we're
Yeah,
getting
I know this
sassy.
is tough. I just looked out of the corner of my eye, but you
We're
go
gonna
ahead. We got
yeah,
time. Okay.
we'll do it here. Well, we don't know when this video is gonna go out, but know that we're
Right.
kind of watching the Lions as well.
We're
At the
watching
moment,
everything.
we're a little nervous.
We're a little
Our
nervous.
boys up there, um,
Looking good, by the way.
looking good. So yeah, if you're at this
Sweet.
point in the video, just
Fire.
hang out for a second. We're gonna talk. You know what it is. We know. Um, Man, he looks good. I can't hear it because I got. I'm just. That's fine. I don't need to hear it.
It's fine.
It's fine. Hey, we like the Chargers. Don't don't get mad at us here. We're just just
So
happen
let's
to
see who my
be.
teammate's gonna be.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh
Oh,
boy, I actually
oh,
really like that pick.
okay. We got a receiver. So he's
I
kind of.
really like the pick. Yeah,
We'll get
it's
back to that.
Tesla, but we're calling him Tesla. Sorry,
Tesla.
Chargers content.
No,
Chargers
Chargers. Love
content.
it. Hey, thanks for hanging out. You guys have been asking, and we want to, Craig. We want to get your if you. We've been talking a lot of tacos on the channel lately, and I wanted to get your take on it. So basically, kind of the dream for me and you is we go out west,
Yeah,
we land in San Diego, we get a taco and hang out on the beach for a second. And so my question
we
for
gonna
you,
fly out there, get a taco, hang out, have a taco on the beach, and then fly home.
yeah, and oh
Okay.
my gosh, the Lions just gave up so much.
It
I'm
just
gonna I'm gonna puke. So what we're doing is like, hey, if we go out and get a taco, kind of where are you at with tacos? Do you love them, hate them? It's like I'll eat one, or it's like, man, I got to have it a certain way. What just general thoughts on a taco?
Well, first off, what did we have for lunch today?
Oh, Mexican burrito. I had a burrito.
I had tacos.
Yep. Okay.
Right. And so I'm gonna tell you a story. It's not a good story, but I grew up, didn't really get a long range, an understanding of what tacos were. It was just, here's ground beef, put it in a flour tortilla, put some cheese on it and some sour cream. Right. That's what I grew up having. So whenever everybody was like taco night, I'm just like, oh no. And then
Yeah.
I started being introduced. You know where I actually fell in love with tacos?
No.
March 2020, scary month, right?
Yep.
March 4th through 6th, so before everything hit the fan, we had a trip out to San Diego
Okay.
and fell in love with tacos down in San Diego. A few years later, went to Arizona, and I was like, this is what it's supposed to be like. And now I think even where we are in Michigan, right, we have a few good taco spots. And
Yeah.
yes, I am a person who I need to have tacos at least once, usually twice a week.
I love what you said because as kids, it was kind of like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And it was, very much,
Michigan's different, people.
it was very much just seasoned ground beef. And you were like,
Yep.
okay. And your parents were just happy that you were eating, but you're like, I don't really know what
Just
tacos
eat the
are, but
food.
yeah, you need that experience. So nope,
You
love it.
need it.
I'm glad to hear you found love in San Diego.
I fell in love with tacos in San Diego the one time I've been into California. Yeah, absolutely. We found a couple of good places, and I'm just like, this is unlike a taco I've ever tasted before.
Love it,
It's 5
man.
years
All
ago.
right. More to come on that. We'll
More to
dive
come.
deeper on that. And we'll go, hopefully one day we'll just go out there and get a taco together and meet everybody. When
Meet
we're out
everybody
there.
out there. Just
Yeah.
hang out, just real quick.
Love it. All right. Let us know your thoughts, and we'll see all of you on the next one.
See you in the next one.
See ya.